So welcome everyone. Next slide, please. What is a precinct? A precinct is the smallest political unit. The borders seldom change. It's your neighborhood, and there is Democratic and Republican precinct people for your precinct, most likely. And this is where elections are won or lost. Next one. To become a PC person, you're either elected in a primary ballot in August, which is last year, and that happens every 2 years. So if you want to be a precinct the next time, you'll have to run again in 2026. You can be a write-in, but you got to have 5 votes, or you can be appointed by the county chair. And if you're appointed by the county chair, then you don't have all the voting rights or decision-making rights that an elected person has. Next one, please. You're as a precinct person, you're doing outreach. You're getting out the vote, and there's a variety of things that you can do. We're later going to be talking about canvassing. The one that I'm really interested in is the first one, and that is connecting with neighborhood influencers and connectors. Who are the people that have the social connections in your neighborhood? So Jan and I met with our mayor of North Lawrence. And that's and it also is connected through the North Lawrence Improvement Association. And everybody knows Ted. And working with Ted, it helps you network through the whole neighborhood. The other kind of social fabric of our precinct is the school, Woodlawn School. So if you can make connections with the PTA or the PTO, it's another connection that you might be able to make. And there might be businesses or social kinds of hubs. I remember doing a protest at the depot in, I don't know, February. And I decided that morning about 8 o'clock, and about 30, 40 people came. But it was a few people that got everybody else to come. And so that also points out to me that if you can find these people who are the connectors in your neighborhood, that can really help you get outreach. You can also do things, find social groups, do events. You can attend a neighborhood improvement associations. We talked about a neighborhood school. We have a Facebook page, but it gets little traffic. So you have to build the followership for it. You can also send out newsletters. If you requested the new spreadsheet of all the registered Democrats in your precinct, Connie's going to get that to you. That's an easy way. You can filter for all the emails, and our 900 people, 250 people are, we have emails for. So it's a quick and easy way to make communication with them. Welcome. And then you can also send out flyers. And I'll talk a little later about the QR code that we have that directs you to your webpage. Next one, please. Any questions about that so far? This is kind of a list of things to do. And the goal is that if you make at least one contact to every Democratic voter in your precinct, and personal conversations are the best. But also, we'll encourage you to do canvassing door to door in June or July. We'll be talking about MiniVan later. And also, you can have literature drops when you do door to door. And that's why I handed out this to you. And I'll talk about it just a little bit. Jan and I are both precinct people in North Lawrence. This is our precinct. And if you do scan that little QR code, it'll take you directly to our web page. It's under construction for all of you who requested a web page. But we're going to have these handouts for you, and hopefully it'll be for the number of registered Democrats in your precinct. You can pick them up here later when we get them printed. And so when you're going door to door or dropping these off, you can drop this off. It introduces you, and then it takes you to a web page that basically tells you everything you need to know or want to know and more. And our interest, and this I don't know if anybody else has done it. Jan and I did it last year with our own webpage. But our hope is that when you go to door, you actually provide them something that gives you all the information specifically for your precinct. Who are the candidates on the ballot that they're going to have to vote on? Or what if there's other kind of votes or amendments that should be listed as well. And in my experience going door to door, what people really want to know is the sample ballot. That happens about 45 days, I believe, after filing, and filing the primary is going to be June 2nd. So it takes a while for that sample ballot to be available. In our precinct, there's 4 different sample ballots. So to be realistic about that, you almost have to go to voter view, which is linked on the webpage. They have to put their name, birth date, and address, and then they'll find everything on their sample ballot. I wish there wasn't so many steps, but there are that many steps. So this could be one literature drop. You might have other things that you want to drop at their doors when you're there. You also might want to send out postcards, phone calls, texting, or email. Any questions about that?
Just for the record, we're going to get a copy of this in our
I am going to, I can send you all the PDFs, but I think maybe I should make it easier for you some way. Yeah, you'll have all of this.
You'll have
Right.
a summary or whatever.
Right. You don't have to take notes at this point, but give me your ideas or questions as we go on. Door-to-door canvassing is always claimed to be the gold standard. And when you go door to door, you're providing election information. The key thing for the Democratic Party is you update the voter registration. We'll get to that later with MiniVan. But getting that information and putting it in MiniVan means the Democratic Party can get that information. That's really the best feedback, and that's why MiniVan and door-to-door canvassing is so key. So it gathers updated voter information by the studies that they've done, that if you make a personal contact at somebody's porch, you can increase their chances of voting 8 to 10%. So what you're doing is increasing the chances people go out and vote. It's also an opportunity to register new Democrats. And if I don't run out of time, I'm going to come to also sample ballots, advanced ballots later. Next one, please. So some best practices. One is always be friendly. Smile. And when you're at the door, confirm that you're talking to the right person that's on your list or in MiniVan. Introduce yourself as a neighbor. I think that always helps to know that you're in the neighborhood and you're not some paid infiltrator. Talk about, and here's your chance to talk about the upcoming election. I give you some examples of that, answer questions. The goal is to get them talking more than you talking, listening and having that conversation. And if you are comfortable, give them a way to contact you. And that's what the Hello postcard is about. Next one, please. So some things to keep in mind. It's permitted to knock on the door with no soliciting sign. I don't know if you've done it. I have turned away and I have knocked. I have done both, but legally you can do that. It's also okay to knock on doors with non-democratic yard signs. Sometimes you're surprised at the friendliness you'll have, even though they have a yard sign of an opposing candidate. Always prioritize your safety. Skip a house that leaves you feeling uncomfortable. Use your judgment. Never put any literature in the mailbox. It's a felony. After knocking or ringing the doorbell, stand back 6 feet, especially if you're a man. And as a man, I would say not have a hat. Make sure they can see your face so that you look recognizable. Don't wear sunglasses. I think it's especially important as a man. And some people have those Ring doorbells and you can leave a message. So I do. I think actually it's better than I think dropping something off at their door. Any questions about that?
Dogs.
One thing, dogs. What are some of the experiences you've had with dogs?
I've gone up to the door and the dog has tried to knock through the door to get at me. It's scared out of me.
Yeah.
You know, others just bark, 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 or you go up and the owner, not a bad dog, but the owner can't control the dog
Mhm.
and it jumps all over you, you know, that sort of thing. It was suggested that we bring dog biscuits at one point, so.
But that's not always appreciated by
Yes,
owners.
right.
Right?
I never did
No,
that, but I know they had some out here available for canvassers at one point. But yeah, dogs can be kind of,
Right. Well, I've had those experiences too, but actually I was surprised. I would knock on a door and I'd hear the dog way before anybody ever made a sign to come to the door, but that actually they do open the door and they actually did take the time to talk to me. So for me, although it's a hassle to talk through the noise and all that, and they get distracted, they can't have a comfortable conversation, but they still took the time to talk. So I think for my experiences, most of the times, even when they're loud, they're not that an issue. But yeah, you never know when a dog will be.
there's a
That-
certain type of
Yeah.
dog that I back away from.
Well, and if that's a personal thing too, and you should feel absolutely in your place to say, okay, this is not for me, I'm gonna skip this door. You know, you have to do it according to your own situation. Absolutely.
Any other experiences with dogs or recommendations? And don't argue about politics or policy. Don't speak for a candidate. If they have questions about a candidate's position, have them speak directly to the candidate. And part of it is don't spend too much at one door, especially if they want to get into a distracted conversation, because your goal is to go through a lot of doors. Use your judgment, but you also need to know how to excuse yourself and move on if you need to. That has not been my problem, but I guess it could be. So, next one, please. Here are some supplies, kind of common sense things: walking shoes, bring water. If you're working with a buddy, you could split the street and go across the street with each other. Sometimes also, if I've had one person do all the data and I just do the door. Bring a clipboard if that's useful to you. Advanced ballot forms is another really helpful thing. And if we have time, I'll talk about how you might use those if they want to have an advanced ballot. Pins, name tags. You got your name tags. So we mentioned dog treats. I'm going to use, I don't know if anybody else does this, but I use painter's tape. I do that at meetings and facilitation, but I'm going to take painter's tape and just tape it as opposed to trying to put it somewhere, especially since it's so small, and put it in a place. And painter's tape should not damage anything. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Kind of, folks? Get blue.
Yes.
Yes.
Bring a fully charged smartphone and with MiniVan, and you might want to also bring a power bank with you if you have one. And of course, the turf list. Other ideas you have about supplies? Okay. Next one, please. Okay, best times. Going door to door is weeknight evenings before sundown. If it gets darker, I know it's time to go home. Saturdays, late morning to afternoon, and Sundays, afternoon. If they're retired, they might be at home at weekdays. Next one, please. Okay, these are some resources. We showed you the hello postcard, and if you responded to the survey, you'll get your own. And with the contact information that you were comfortable putting on it, you send me a photograph, it'll be on it as well. If you prefer not, then don't send me a photograph or just let me know. This is the web page. This is Precinct 41, and this QR code should take you directly to your own precinct webpage. Hi, Garth, welcome. And so that should take you to the webpage itself. If you ask for business cards, eventually I'll be getting those for you. If you ask for a spreadsheet, you'll be getting that as well. That'll be from Connie. And it should have all the Democrats in your precinct, as well as phone numbers and addresses, and maybe emails. Maybe a third or quarter might have emails on it as well. And we'll talk about MiniVan and boat builder as well. Questions about that?
You said we'll be getting the little like hello cards.
Uh-huh.
Would it be possible to also get like a PDF or something? So if we want to make more for the future, we can print off our own.
Yes. What I'll do is I'm keeping everything in Google Documents. Okay, and it's in a Google Drive. What I will do, you just ask me, I'll share it with you.
Okay, great.
That way you can change it, you can adapt it, you can do what you want or create your own. But yes,
Okay,
I would love for you. I'm always willing to pass on these things to you. So, any other questions about that? And originally I had a half G, but people asked for postcard shape, so that's the reason why we went that direction. Next one, please. MiniVan. MiniVan is on your app, and it communicates all the information that you put in it to Boat Builder. Garth, you're the Boat Builder expert here. This is the party information. It is really the critical information that you put in there that the party can use. And as you respond to scripts, as you change addresses or emails, that is really helpful. And so it collects information. It also directs you on a map to the next door. It also tracks where you have been. And if Jan and I are working, or we have other volunteers, I will know which doors have been, contacted. So I'll go on to others. That's what I like about MiniVan. Next one, please. Okay, so now you need to bring MiniVan up on your phone. I'm a little worried about this because I'm going to show you on the screen what hopefully you see on your phone. And things could get a little bit awry, but this is the turf number. This is the list number. So you'll have to enter that in to MiniVan. I need to do the same thing myself.
Just talk us through this as you open up your phone and open up the app, if you wouldn't mind.
Okay. Well, mine is at a different place. And so what you should be seeing is you'll click from here and then you'll enter the number here. Are people there?
Yep.
I'll just wait for you to enter in the number there. And I need to go back because mine was already opened. Let me just catch up myself here. Sorry. Mine has locked me out. Let me get in. Sorry.
Mine opened to somewhere in Wichita, and I had to mess with my map to see your own precinct 41, I think.
There's like 485 in Lawrence, and then like one floating out in Wichita somewhere.
Oh, is that why? Yeah,
Yeah.
there's some floating out away from your precinct in mid Lawrence as well. So that happens now and then. But most of them are up in that northeast corner of the town, or across the river, if you want to put it that way.
Go ahead and download this.
I got it.
Yeah, I'm there.
I'm sorry, I have to log myself in so I can get at the same place you are. And so I'm still putting in all my password and
If you want, you can use mine too.
Thank you. I have two verification of authentications, but I need to do that too.
Hmm.
So this is your entire precinct with Democrats?
Yes. Thanks for your patience. Okay, so now I'm right here. And so I'm going to click on this caret to the right, and then I'm going to enter in this number here. And you guys already have done that.
I went to menu and did download a new list and then put in this number.
And then I have auto sync.
Yeah.
And then, and if you go to the next one, please. So I'm going through auto sync, and then I'm going to do a lid drop. And so then you see this, okay?
Yeah.
That's where you're at.
Yeah.
And so what I want you to do is click on these maps here, the maps types here. So you click on that. You see where the yellow circle is?
Yep.
You see that? Click on that. And then go to the next one, Bob. And then you have a choice between a map, that's the street map, and the satellite map. I am going to choose the satellite map, and or you can flip between both, and you can decide if you want a street map or a satellite map. I personally like the satellite map. And Bob, can you go to the next one? So at the top, you can have household. We're looking at the household right now.
Yeah.
And if you kind of swipe up, now you can see all the households in the precinct. And it's going to be alphabetical. We're in Ash Street right now. Then if you, I'll swipe down, and then if you click on people becomes now blue. And now you can look at all the people names that are in the precinct. Now, cross your fingers and hope this works. What I want you to do is you see that the alphabet is on the right side of that screen. I want you to go to J, because you're going to look me up. You're going to find me. So click J, and so you see with the name Jackson, is that right?
Okay.
Nice, yeah.
Or Joseph, swipe up till you see Gerald Jost.
Yeah, you're on the bottom.
Okay, Gerald Jost. So it should look like this.
Yep.
Now I want you to tap it. And if you go to you're there. Thank you. Bob, you're good. So this is what you should see now, right? And it should have a script. This is an old script. So Jim and Melinda are working up a script for you to use in your precinct. I don't know what it is, but it's going to be a kind of introduction and some questions that will provide good feedback to the party. And if you scroll up, what you're now going to see is the middle slide there. Thank you, Bob. Which, in last year it was you checked off just how strongly they supported the Democratic candidates.
Wait a minute. Did it? Okay, I missed
This
that.
one right here, you'll have to swipe up,
Oh, swipe up. Yeah.
and then you'll see.
You just need- Lost my place.
And you can help each other if
Oh, yeah.
you
Okay,
get
good.
lost.
Okay, yep, gotcha.
Okay. So what I want you now to do is we are now at the script. I want you to move to details. You can see the yellow circle there. So click on details, and you should find out a lot of information about me. So I did answer my question. We all can be on the same
That's what you're
profile.
talking about, being on.
Yeah, I was really worried about this. So Next slide. Okay, this is information about me. This is my polling location. It's really helpful. If they have questions about where I vote, it'll give the polling information right at the top. And then it'll give phone information and emails. Here's a chance to correct the data. If they are willing to give it to you, you can correct it right in MiniVan. You can get rid of the old one. And that means the party has better information. Does that make sense?
And this gets downloaded over to,
Goes to Vote Builder, goes to Garth. And Jim,
Yes,
And you too. You can have both building too.
yeah, you can have Vote Builder too. You can all have access to Vote Builder and have all this information. You can talk to Garth, you can talk to Jim and get that information. I purposefully don't want to know Vote Builder because I gotta do other stuff. But thank you, Garth and Jim and other people who are doing Vote Builder, because that's where the data resides and is shared with the party. So this is really the critical information that you provide if you can do that, Ruth.
But if you don't do Vote Builder for yourself and you don't figure that all out, then you have to go to Garth to get a turf list
Or Jim.
or Jim.
And I'm gonna come to that later. They can give you the turf list. And you can talk to them if you want the whole precinct or just want 2 hours worth, or you want 5 different people who are gonna be working, they can cut turfs for that group. And I gotta talk with Jan about this, but way I think I wanna do is just do my own precinct. I'll know Jan or volunteers and I'll just know which ones they've done and which ones they haven't done. And then I'll have to do some cleanup. Does that make sense? Did I get at your question?
We have, looks like we have a hand raised.
Okay, yes,
Catherine will need to unmute. Yeah, ask the question.
go ahead and unmute and ask your question.
This is Catherine Tuttle on Zoom. You talked about doing updates, and are you talking there about just updating the phone number and the email?
Yes,
And then you do it right there? Okay, I just want
Yes.
to be clear. That's the only thing really that you can update.
well, also, whatever information you give to the script, if you checked off information that they're a strong supporter, that is also loaded up into Vote Builder. And the little bit we're going to notes, that too will be uploaded into Vote Builder.
Okay, thank you.
Does that get at your question? I think so.
Yes.
Thanks, Bob. Okay, so click on notes. And next slide, please. So you see, click on add note. And then you'll see edit note. What I really like to do, because I'm just walking away from the house, is I hit the little microphone and I talk into the note while I'm walking to the next place.
Wow, I did not know that.
So the kind of things I put in yard signs that tells me something about the household, or if there's something in the conversation with the previous person I want to have in there. That's what I do.
It's the microphone on your
Way at the
phone.
bottom,
It's the microphone on your phone
Right.
menu.
right down here.
Keyboard, right.
The dictation.
But it's on your keyboard, yeah.
Yeah. So I find that as a very useful tool. Any other questions about notes?
Nasty dog at this door.
That's right.
I had one situation where I went to a house and it was a for sale sign.
Uh-huh.
And I looked in the window and no furniture. So I could be able to put,
Moved away.
somebody moved, this person moved, this house is vacant. And that would get into Vote Builder and nobody
Is
goes
the
there
vote
again.
gonna pick that up though? Isn't there another?
Yeah, you'd want to do the checklist and say they moved. Is there one I have to go back?
Yeah,
But I think there's a
on your script,
There's
When
also
you
a
go-
script.
when you go, I couldn't reach this contact.
Yeah.
And you've got your whole list of not home, deceased, and accessible lip drop moved.
That's more
Ooh,
important too.
right.
That's where you should check
That's
off.
where it would be.
I'm not sure people check notes. I'm not sure Vote Builder really filtrates that. It might be just useful for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, check it on that, why I could not make that contact.
I would say that if you save it in your minivan, that if for some reason we're doing some sort of citywide canvas and we got 50 volunteers going to different neighborhoods, if they're using minivan, they should, when they come to that address that says moved, they should know to skip it.
So let's go to history. So you'll find out about me. And you can swipe up and you can find out more about, wait, are we there?
Yeah.
In history? So yeah, you can find out when I was contacted and, that information is logged in. I was canvassing for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz in Philadelphia, and it would be listed 10 times his door has been contacted. It was all listed there, and when they were there. So that information is put in there. Okay, so what we're going to do is now we're on the far right side. We're going to be moving to the first click on script. So script becomes blue. And because this is a little tricky. And then click the left caret. And it should look like this. Are you here?
Yep.
Okay, and then you scroll down.
What?
Look at the left carrot in the upper corner.
Yeah, left caret in the upper corner.
Little back button.
Because what I want to do is get you to the map.
Okay,
And then swipe down, and then you should come to the map. Yeah, and I want you, oh, wait. Did it move it to the next slide, please? I'm not sure what you're seeing on your phone. Are you finding me? It may not have got you there because I live right here. So I live at Fifth Street in Walnut, and if there's
north of the railroad tracks?
it's north of the river, right north of the levee. Did it take you to this scene for some of you, and some of it may not? This is when I worry about, what I see and what you see might be different. Because I want you to click on my house. Okay? There's 2 people living in our house, and you might have to zoom in. Does that make sense to you? And it should be, what is that, red or orange dot?
Wait a minute.
What color do you call
There we
that?
Let's say orange.
Orange. It's a yellow orange dot. So it looks kind of like this on the far right the screen shot. You see that the orange 2?
Oh, I see it.
You got there?
How did it,
Zoom in. That's where Deborah and I live.
how did it get to be orange?
Because I said I dropped literature there yesterday or 2 days ago.
No, I don't see the orange.
So I
showing up as a
I
red.
visited my house. That's why it shows up. Part of the reason I did that is so you know which ones have been visited. Plus, yeah. So if you click on the orange 2 and next slide, oops, it's not there. Backslide. Sorry. What you see is something, you'll see my address. And if you click on the address, you'll see Deborah Altus is my partner and me. So you can click on either name and you find out the information about either party. So if I'm walking up to my door, I want to know who lives there. So I got the names. If I want to know more information about that, I can open it up and look under details. Depends on how much information you want to know before you go to the door. Does that make sense?
No, I think it's on the wrong button about this.
Any questions so far? What I'm doing here is just trying to get you navigating MiniVan.
Sorry, this is Catherine Tuttle. I was on your name with the script, and when I did the left arrow, it just took me back to the whole list. It didn't take me to the.
There's the orange.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to get you back. Do you see a left caret in the upper left corner?
I see the left caret, but all it does is take me back to the entire alpha list. Maybe I need to do
Can
how.
you scroll down?
Pull down.
Yeah,
The
pull
alpha
down.
can be pulled down such that the map shows.
Yeah, I want you to get to the map.
Yes, and she's looking at the list, and it seems to cover the whole page. Just below people, there's a little gray bar across the top. If you touch just below where it says people, you can drag that list and see the map behind it.
Yeah.
Can you get there?
Yes, I did. Thank you. I'm
Thank
not.
you, Jim. Jim, good job. I don't know if I can coach.
Well, I'm looking at the phone, so I've got a good advantage here.
Well, I'm looking at my phone too. Thank you,
Oh.
Jim. So, also, I'm a little confused. Can you go to the next slide? Did I miss this? Oh, yes, next door. So do you see, back on your map? Yep. And I gotta get to the map. Do you see at the bottom here, the next door?
Yep.
And you're at my house?
Yep.
And so if you click next door, it'll give you next doors to go to. Well, not so good for
Right.
me, but so it can walk you through which houses to go. I think it'll give you a next kind of a sequence.
Yeah.
And so that's one way that you can direct your door-to-door canvassing. You can also filter households by side of the street. That's a filter function. But what I do is I use my map.
Yeah.
That's the way I canvass. I just follow my map, and because if I do next door, I'm walking north, and then I have to walk back south, and rather than walking around the block. Maybe there's a way to synchronize or arrange your next door so it goes down the street and back. I don't know. I've never figured that out. So I just use the map. Yeah.
You go to where you just go down where it's all the addresses on that particular street? Or do you go to the names from the name?
I go on the map.
Yeah,
I just
I'll
walk
just
in.
like click like
So
the
on
little,
map, you'll have
little
all those
number
little
for the
icons
house
with
next door.
numbers. And I just
Yeah.
pick the next one that's closest to you.
And once I say I've been there, now it's colored. I know I've been there, and I just walk the street. I guess it kind of assumes you like reading maps as opposed to reading names and
Well,
just
if you read the
following them.
names and if they're in alphabetical order,
Yeah, you're all
You're-
over the place.
your people are leaving in alphabetical order.
Well, it shouldn't be in alphabetical order, but what it's going to be, in my case, in this next door, it sends me to my neighbors to the north and then walks me back and then down the street down Walnut. I would have just walked around the block.
Yeah.
See, so that's why I prefer a map as opposed to the minivan.
Actually, the lists usually are sorted by street name, and then they're in numerical order by house number. And so I've never, it wasn't so hard, I never thought that I had to rearrange it. I could figure out,
Oh, they are
walking
by
down the
house
street,
number. They are.
which side is the even side and which
That's
side's the
true.
odd side. And when I got to the end of this street, or if it was a case where I got to the end of the block and wanted to take a side street, I just scroll to the side street name and go down there.
You do it that way.
But it counts. It can't, it marks all the houses you hit, and it gives you a count, so you can tell, have I missed any streets? Because is my count not zero? I still got a ways to go.
and minivan will actually show you where you are on the map. So if you like zoom out, you'll see that we're located like way across town at this location. So if you're like trying to figure out where you are and which house you're gonna go to, you can look at your dot and then click on
Yeah.
the house near you.
So it'll track you. We're just not in my precinct. So, and then you can click on progress. Notice that on the bottom in the middle, it's right to the right of next door. If you click on that, and I think if you go to the next slide, does it take me there? Yes, this is the progress. It shows that I haven't done anything yet. So, well, I'm one attempt, my home. But that's, and Garth, you were talking about that. It gives you an idea of how much more you need to do or where you're at. And next slide, I'm not sure where, okay. We talked about the bubble. Means I've been there. There's 2 people living there. There's 4 people living there that are voters. The black dot is where you're at. Okay, next slide. Okay, I'm going to do some review and reminders, so we're not going to be using your phone right now. Next slide, please. Tapping on an address and household view or map view shows the voter's profile. And so eventually it walks you over and walks you to the profile. And we went through that earlier. Next slide. The script is an outline of the information that the party wants to gather from the voter. And so Jim and Melinda will be working on that. So you'll have a specific script that will be for this year. This is just last year's. That's why I exited out. So what you want to do is get familiar with it. Eventually you can hide it. You can hide the script by clicking that if you got it in mind. You really don't want to read it. It just gives you an idea of what to say while you're there. And then the questions will follow. And I think there might be 3 questions that might follow that. And be sure that you have the intended voters. And if you swipe up in link, and we were there earlier. It showed you can check off, are they a strong voter or they are a strong other. Next slide, please. Okay, we talked about your hello postcard. We talked about the QR code. Will take you to a web page for your precinct, and you can go to ours, since it should be comparable to it. And these are the elections coming up. Some of this is going to have to be changed if you're Baldwin City or Eudora or rural Douglas County. And what else? I think that's it. How about the next? Okay, Ruth.
A very important button, sync.
Oh, we'll get there. But
Yes.
okay, sync often. Maybe after every house. If you think about it. It'll be automatically syncing. It said here 6 minutes ago. I don't know what mine said. It's been 20 minutes.
Put your cursor on the sync button. Up.
So
to the
Bob,
right
you'll go
corner.
right up there. Yep, that's it. So sync often, because you don't want to lose your data. Thanks, Jim. Next slide.
I usually do mine in during your block.
Okay.
I mean, I don't want to work, it uses power to do sync.
Wise man.
Yeah.
Wiser than me. You can also scroll down details page and find voter. We talked about this, but entering or correcting addresses and phone numbers is always good. Next slide, please. Syncing, do that end of the block or periodically. Syncing always sends the data back to Vote Builder. Remember, if you were here last time, there's 2 kind of devices. You're using one. Vote Builder is some big server somewhere that collects all this information. And also what's nice, if you're working with a partner, syncing often knows, well, they've covered the street or whatever, and so I don't have to cover that street. Any questions about syncing? Thanks for bringing that up. Next, the list menu. So if you're there and you see the list menu, you can click on it. You can sync it. You can log out. That's what I did, unfortunately. That's why I had to log back in and get my authenticator code and all of this, which I shouldn't have done. But you can also download a new list if you're going to do a new list. So that's your menu. The bottom, the next slide. Okay. So phone calls. Generally, door-to-door canvassing, they consider the best outreach you can do. Or any personal conversation you have with folks. And then phone calls, they consider second best. There's always, some of the problems with phone calls. People don't answer and other. But if you're going to call, here are some times, weekday evenings or Sunday afternoon. Avoid key games and events. I was canvassing during the Olympics. That was not a good time to be canvassing. I'll tell you one little story. I was at this house and I could see them through the picture window and they're all watching the Olympics. And their 3-year-old came to the door. The 3-year-old wasn't watching Olympics, he was watching me. And so dad eventually reluctantly came to the door. Just kind of avoid those kind of situations if you can. You can have conversations with folks. I don't know if you go in houses or not. Probably most people do not. I have done that. But follow-up calls are important if you should or could do that. Any what? I'm sorry. Why did I say go indoors? I'm sorry. I was thinking about door-to-door canvassing. Sorry about that.
What would you say on a follow-up phone call?
If there was a reason that you promised to provide some information to them, there was a question that they might have, that would be the reason. Next one is on texting. There's less data on texting, but it tends to work best if you know the person. People generally don't respond, but that doesn't mean they didn't read. Next slide. Advanced ballots. So this is something I really didn't know very much and I hadn't worked it before. I'll just have the example. You can download the advanced ballots and I suggest that you do this, have some copies there for you. There is this one here is the application for advanced ballot. And it asks some basic information. They need to sign it. And they can mail it. And the address is on the back side. I think it's here. Yeah, here it is. You can mail it or they can take a photograph of it on their phone. You give them the email and watch them email it right there. So those are 2 ways that you can help them do an advanced ballot.
Yeah. I'm a little bit concerned about the situation with advanced ballots since they're trying to limit the grace period.
Well, they did.
And they did, and the postal service now being so slow. I'm almost to the point where I don't even want to, encourage people to do that anymore. I'm more it's like just to be on the safe side. Best way to do it is go in person.
That's what I do, but
Yeah. Okay.
But if they can't drive,
And turn it in.
Or do an advanced ballot and turn it in.
But that's the beauty of your minivan and your turf list, because you can see if they have applied for an advance ballot. And then you could probably contact that voter and say, you really need to get that in and don't rely on the post office.
Yeah,
It's not in the day, but because I will always do advance ballot myself personally. So
Yeah, I would say people that are, I would encourage people to drop them at the drop box.
Right.
You don't have to get out of your car. You drive up, you throw it in the slot, and you go. You don't have to climb any stairs. Now, if you don't drive, some people don't,
right.
then they're going to have to find some sort of assistance. We can provide that assistance. We can collect them and carry them in. I think they got some ridiculous limit of like 10.
there's a limit, yeah.
But that's 10 at a time, I think.
That's I believe
How are they
that's
gonna
true.
see if you go though, if you've got 10 ballots and you go to the box, you just drop it, is there a camera that's watching that ballot box? Probably.
Oh, I've known, there are locations that do.
Yeah.
So there's going to be 3 drop boxes in Douglas County, one at the courthouse, one at their office, and the other one, I think they said Old West, but I'm not sure.
You mean that's just for Lawrence?
It's for Douglas Lord.
For Lawrence.
Yeah.
There should be one in Baldwin.
Yeah, I would say so.
If you want to have advanced ballots forever, there is this form. It is called the application for permanent advanced voting status if you have a disability or some other reason. Glasses is a disability that allows you to fill this out.
Wow. Really?
Wow. Ruth, you don't have to do this.
I will do it every time anyway.
Anyway,
Because I just go to ksvotes.org or whatever that is and do it online. Apply for that.
any questions about advanced ballots? Next slide, please. So more to come. I'm working with a handful of folks that are going to be well trained with MiniVan. My hope is that if you want to have training or mentoring or doing door-to-door canvassing and you got some volunteers either here or in your neighborhood, hopefully they can be recruited to show up as well. That's one of my goals. We have the vote builder people, Garth and Jim, thank you. My goal is to have different people that can do different things to help you do your job and do your work.
Let me offer you an assist. You're sitting here in my precinct.
Okay.
And I've done this before. You know, if we want to get together on a Saturday at a certain hour, we can download a precinct 11 list. And I will take you for a walk for 3 or 4 blocks, and you can see it work, and you can ask questions, and well, I can take you around the block and bring you back, and then do another batch.
There you go. So we can have in-person training doing it. So thank you, Garth.
You can see it. You know, the first time you go out, you know, watching the screen do its funny things, you know, it's helpful to be assured that, yep, that's the way it's supposed to work, and you feel confident.
Thank you. Monday, and you may not be happy about this, but I attended the PC Coalition monthly Zoom meetings, and that got me doing this. That was my connection because I didn't know what it was. I just attended the Zoom meeting and it led me here. But I find it real helpful. So these are PCP folks across the state talking about ideas and situations and media outlets and whatever's on people's mind, or they have guest speakers. I find it very helpful. So I try to do it every month. I'll send you the Zoom link later. Encourage you to do it. June 2nd is the candidate filing date. So that after June 3rd, I will know what's going to be on your sample ballot. So my goal is to get all this updated and get it on your web pages by June 5th. We'll have a follow-up canvassing training, just kind of like this. So if you've been here, you've done this, but I'm hoping to do it again for those who couldn't attend today. Hopefully I got the information updated for that. So we're working on the drop cards, and I've got some people helping me with that. The Kate and Ann on the precinct web pages. See if it works. I welcome your feedback for that. And then the organizer cards, which I showed you. And in June and July, hopefully it's your chance to go door to door. And if you need some help, whether Garth doing the neighborhood, just know how MiniVan works, or come to me if you need some help canvassing as much as I can help you or recruit volunteers. We're doing it this year, folks. So we're ready next year. That's what this is about. So next slide. Oh, you know, I've been protesting, and you get the question, and I ask myself this every day. The news is worse this week than last week. What should I do? What can I do? And so I created this webpage here with I consider the whys and the stages of just different things about what you can do, what to look out for, what to be warned by, what are some words of wisdom, how do you take care of your health, what about your Social Security, because I am worried about Social Security, both for you and for your family. What are your rights if an ICE or police officer comes to you? So there's kind of different web pages. I'm always working on it. Hopefully it's helpful for you to figure out what's my place in all of this. But thank you for doing this work, because 2026 matters. What really the power is, vote. I concluded that's the biggest power we have. That's why Republicans are trying to take it away from us. They took away the 3-day grace period next year, but not this year. So it'll be on your webpage. You'll see it. You've got 3 days of grace period this year.
Oh,
but
okay.
not next year.
I guess I didn't realize.
Yeah. So, but your webpage will tell you that.
Yeah.
But we're gonna lose that.
Yeah.
Why are they taking it away? Because they don't want you to vote. Any questions about this? Next slide. I'm not sure where we're at. Oh, questions, needs, or opportunities. This is Miso, one of our best cats. It's in this great sky somewhere. Any questions, needs, or opportunities?
The beauty of MiniVan is like, you've got 500 on your list. Now, sometimes your turf doesn't have that many, but if I had a turf of 50 for that day and I didn't get all doors and I would sync everything, then I should go back the next day and be able to get in there and it should show me where I've been.
30 days. It's up for
But
30
last
days.
year it didn't work that way.
Why not?
I have no idea. I had to remember where I was.
No.
And I would sync. Yes, Jerry. So I'm anxious to do it this year.
Oh, I'm so
Because
sorry.
that was, well, it wasn't your fault. It was whatever.
But it's frustrating.
I know. I'd have to remember I was there, but it didn't show that I was there. And I put the information in. So we'll see what happens
I
this year.
guess I never encountered that because I cut my own turfs and I cut them for an afternoon's work.
Yeah.
And so I would pre-size my list.
Well,
So
there's
it's
these are
something
one-
I knew I could do.
Yeah.
And then, on a rare occasion, I may do 2 lists in a day, but, well,
But the beauty is it's supposed to be able to keep track of.
Correct.
Well,
Yeah.
We have a raised hand from Kathy.
Okay, another question? Is it
Yeah, yes. Can you
Okay,
just
well-
remind me when the registration deadlines are for August and November?
If somebody bring up your webpage, it should tell you.
Okay.
I don't remember.
All right. Okay.
Um,
I'll look it up. No problem.
I can look it up too. Let's see.
Is that a month?
Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you. Thanks for being here.
If there's the,
Let me just look it up.
here, it's on, I have your little card on the screen. So they,
Oh. Well, that's the election dates, but you want to
Oh.
know when you can register to vote, is that right?
It's, the 20 some days
you're
before the
muted, Catherine.
election, so like July 15th roughly, but that's not exact enough, so.
Yeah, I just trying to think about my canvassing times and trying to coordinate it with, some of those things.
That's a good point.
Second.
So June, July.
Deadline to register to vote or update your voter registration information for 2025 primary election, July 15th.
Right.
So all I did was go to Douglas County election and found the election calendar. So
It is also going to be on your webpage in blue.
Yeah.
It's July 15th and October 14th for the general election.
and that county website has already, when in-person voting starts, all that.
And it's also going to be on your webpage.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Other questions or comments? Experiences going door to door? My most funny one was, it's actually a neighbor a block or more from me, and kind of looked around the door, and I said I was here to canvass and talking about the election. And he said, I'll come back, but I want to put my pants on first.
I think it's always helpful to have someone with you, even if it's someone who's not canvassing, but maybe someone driving and kind of following you around. Unless you really know your neighborhood. If you vote, your neighborhood and everything.
There's a substantial number of women who will not answer the door if it's a guy.
Mhm.
The ideal is to male and female there.
Yeah, this is what I've heard from the state committee. They recommend male and female or 2 females.
Buddy up or something.
Yeah. My technique is I either get my wife or daughter to drive me, because in this precinct, it may be 3 or 4 houses between houses. Or there may be 3 in a row and then a half a block. And so, speeds me up by having a ride to cover the long walks.
Any other advice or needs you have or questions you have? Well, thank you all.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks, Jim, for doing the boat builder. Garth, Bob, thanks for manning the Zoom meeting for us. And thank you for helping Democrats get elected, because really that's where our power and our option is to have a better country in America. So thank you.